Good evening, everybody. Y'all know it's a special night because I actually timed the intro properly.
You're getting better at this after all.
You know, he updated the graphics, but can we get a better damn song?
Well, you got to be careful because Facebook will boot you for anything.
I'm just waiting for him to switch my picture out to one that doesn't look like Match.com. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of Match.com.
Hang on. Let me tell the people who we are.
No. It's right there on the screen.
They still have to know.
Understand. This is like the only thing I get to do, and that's read the screen.
Yeah.
Evening, everybody. Welcome to Dueling Aces for whatever the hell day today is. It's
3:13.
I don't know what time it is because, time apparently doesn't exist anymore.
8:30 on the East Coast.
We got Adam, star of the show. We got the senior VP. We got Zolt, Nacho host. Not to be confused with Nacho host, which is different. I've been told that we have a special guest. Maybe at one point we'll even have a host too, but I'm not terribly sure.
It's fine.
We got all kinds of topics to get to according to the title bar.
That doesn't mean we will, though.
Nobody's told me yet whether Bruins means UCLA or Boston.
The Bruins, the Boston Bruins already locked up a playoff spot.
Nice. Yeah. That's kind of early for that. Apparently we got the WBC, which I even know is the World Baseball Classic. And the reason I know this is because literally the Detroit Tigers signed somebody today.
They got 3 strikeouts. He got 3 strikeouts.
Apparently there's this little thing called March Madness. I don't know if y'all heard of it. I heard about it because it popped up on my BetMGM app.
I think we should go to ESPN right now and live on the air. The three of us
do a bracket.
Just
see how bad we can do.
Yes.
Because it would be quite atrocious.
Yeah. Probably, but why not?
We got Bears and Panthers because apparently we're out in nature. The Bears are out there doing things. They're hiding picnic baskets. The Panthers are out, they're just taking, draft picks and just throwing them at people. Apparently NASCAR. I don't know what NASCAR. Okay. You got RODGERS. RODGERS.
We already cussed about NASCAR before the show started. We don't talk about it anymore.
No. Maybe if I can figure out how we can screenshot the standings. Besides that.
Why don't you rub salt in the wound? A little more. Because
I'm at a point in the season where I can, and I don't know if I can later.
We'll get to 5 races to go. You'll be up by 5. Then you will be the senior VP of Shiitake Under Bridges.
I ain't gonna say nothing then. And then Rogers is on here, and I know that's AA Ron, and I really don't want to talk about AA Ron. I'm done talking about him. I've been done talking about him for months, years.
We don't have to talk about AA Ron.
I figured you as a Lions fan would be ecstatic that he's getting out of your division and moving on, if the rumors are true.
He's leaving now that we can beat him.
Yeah,
literally, his last game for the Packers was a game that I don't want to say we beat him handily because we didn't beat the team handily. We handled him.
Yeah. And it was in Green Bay at that.
Yeah.
Going back to NASCAR real quick, the only thing that you and I can talk about on NASCAR is that we are up on 3rd place by almost 200 points.
Yeah, it's a 2-team race.
We could take a race off.
But don't do that. I wouldn't advise that.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, certainly don't do it on purpose because I guarantee it's going to happen at one point on accident.
Yeah.
Because it did last year.
Yes.
So if I can find it real quick, I literally just stumbled across this list, and I know I get killed for going straight to NFL all day, all the time. However,
Why? It's about the most thing that's got the most to talk about.
I found the rule proposal summaries that have been thrown out there by the teams for rule changes. Now, of course, none of these, this is all going to like the competition committee, and they can figure some of this stuff
Wait,
out.
so the teams get to come up with like
The teams they suggest rule changes.
Oh boy.
That's why the rule book is this thick.
And that's why we have the tuck rule.
First and foremost, 2 bylaw amendments that were thrown out there. And I'm going to say this, when we get to the minutia, Detroit was actually pretty active. They suggested like 4 or 5 things, including a bylaw proposal that we knew was coming, and it just happened to be the Lions that suggested it. Amend the bylaw to allow a club to designate an emergency third quarterback from the inactive list or practice squad, who would be eligible to enter in the event the first 2 quarterbacks are out. Gee, I mean, you'd almost think we had this rule before.
Yeah.
It wasn't a rule before?
It was a rule before. When they expanded, I think when they expanded the practice squad, that's when they got rid of that rule for some reason.
Because they were adding more people to the practice squad, so therefore you didn't need the other position.
Or they expanded the rosters. Maybe it was when they expanded the rosters, and then teams just didn't use the extra slot for a quarterback.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I mean, you really think about it. This year alone, there was what? A lot of teams, 49ers especially, that were only rolling with 2 quarterbacks. Which I'm loving to see that, we got Jimmy G going to Vegas, and then good old Sam Mono goes to San Francisco. He's going to turn that place right around and help Trey Lance.
Now, I was holding off on that one. I was specifically holding off on that one to see if a chair got filled.
Oh, well played. Well played.
Bravo.
Because I don't know. Why would you sign Sam Darnold to a year contract unless you're not sure somebody's coming back real quick?
Yeah, Trey.
I'm thinking the other one.
Brock Purdy.
Oh, Purdy, yeah.
Because Trey, I think, is going to be ready to go. I don't know. It just, that kind of struck me as odd. It's like that. I mean, he's going to land somewhere. He's I suppose a capable backup. He knows how to learn a system, Well,
I mean, I guess you had your choice of him or Baker.
Yeah, right. So the other bylaw amendment is rather specific, and I know where it's coming from. Specifically, it came from the Chargers. Okay, amend the bylaw to seed wild card teams higher than division championships in the playoffs if the division champions have a 1-loss tied percentage lower than 500 and the wild card team have 4 or more wins than the division champions with losing records.
Why don't you just win your playoff game and you don't have to worry about it?
I believe we might be calling this the NFC East rule, but I'm not terribly sure.
Yeah. No, listen, it's happened more than once.
NFC South.
Well, and not even NFC South or the NFC East or the NFC West, but it has happened more than once where the division winner was 8-8, 9-7, and a wild card was 12-4 or whatever. And I think that rule, the spirit of the rule is in the right place, because I think if you have a better record, you should be seated higher, no matter if you won a division or not.
I felt that rule became oddly specific, though, with you must have 4 wins more than the divisional champion.
Well, true, but I mean, the year, who was it?
Seahawks, probably.
No, it wasn't the Seahawks. I want to say it was it was the year Tom Brady got his ACL blown out. And the Chargers ended up getting into the playoffs, and the 12-4 New England Patriots were sitting at home. And I think I'm not saying you pull a Jeff Gordon and add a 13th team to the playoff, but you gotta.
Right.
I think you gotta have your best teams there. And the year that San Diego went, I want to say they were 9-7 or 10-6. What kind of dumb rules did Cleveland propose?
I didn't see anything from Cleveland. I didn't see anything from Cleveland. All right. Well, hang on a second. Let me change that. Okay. I didn't see anything from Cleveland. Philly wants to be able to use the number 0 on a jersey. They proposed that.
They just did that not too long ago in college, and it went over pretty well. So why not?
Yeah. Philly also threw out there, they want to do the XFL onside kick. So instead of an onside kick, you can run one play at 4th and 20 from your own 20-yard line, and you either make it or you don't.
I didn't know that was their rule. I kind of like it, though.
Listen, that gives you a whole field to play with.
It does.
But imagine being on the goal line with 4th down and say, we're going to go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, it gives options. I mean, onside kicks are supposed to be exciting, and I suppose they are, but they're so infrequent and they succeed so infrequently that maybe taking a shot at 4th and 20, at least that might be a bit more exciting.
Well, hell, all the teams always go for it. 4th down now anyways.
I misunderstood. Onside kicks.
Yeah, so instead of an onside kick.
Do it. Why not? Listen. Why not? You're down by 3 in the late stages of a 4th quarter. And rather than onside kick it, you're going to get one play. Yep. Go for it.
Just go for it.
Go for it.
I'm all for opening things up. Speaking of which, it wasn't on here, but I just thought of it. Not that I've watched a minute of XFL except for the highlights occasionally. Y'all see the double pass that won a game this weekend?
No, I didn't.
So you are allowed a double pass. The first pass can be a forward pass, but it can't be beyond the line of scrimmage. So similar to the rule now, except it can be a forward pass as opposed to a lateral. And literally it was a double pass. First pass was, I think, to a crossing receiver who just stayed behind the line of scrimmage. And then he chucked it downfield. It was actually a decent looking play, and it was a game-winning touchdown.
So you think the ratings are decent for the XFL, or probably not?
They haven't been, from what I've understood. I haven't looked it up this week. They were really pulling for a game this week. It was the first game at St. Louis for the St. Louis franchise, and they were not necessarily for TV ratings, but as far as attendance, they were expecting over 30,000 people for that game. Because I believe St. Louis has the best attendance record for the XFL the previous seasons. So they had high hopes. I don't know if they actually hit it or not.
I mean, yeah, because they're going to resurrect AJ McCarron's career.
I mean, if they don't, nobody's gonna.
Yeah. Hell, his wife didn't even resurrect his career.
Let's see. Chargers proposed make adjustment of the play clock following an instant replay reversal consistent with other timing rules. That sounds like somebody's pissed off because they got screwed up with the clock. Detroit threw 3 things out there. Expand the coach's challenge system to include personal fouls.
That would have helped in a lot of the college playoff games. And granted, it's a different league, but still.
Provide clubs more opportunities for a third challenge. So nothing specific there, but hey, let's figure out ways that we can do a third challenge.
Well, and that's the thing, because you get into the situations where you think you need it, you call it at the one time, and now you're out, and then there's a play that's even more controversial than the one before, and you're out. You have nothing. Your hands are tied.
And expand the replay official's jurisdiction to allow for consultation regarding penalty assessment. So in other words, they want the replay official to be able to call down more as opposed to relying on coaches' challenges.
I don't see why you just don't have like the Gene Territories of the world. Just tell them like, hey, this is what I see.
Yeah. So in Detroit, we're all about, you know what? We ain't got enough challenges. We can't win enough challenges. Let's just challenge everything. Let's go.
Just start biting kneecaps.
There you go. Houston did something similar, expand replay officials' jurisdiction to allow for review on failed fourth down attempts. So I think they kind of want an automatic review like on a scoring play.
Right.
That's what that sounds like. Rams. Make fouls for roughing the passer called on the field subject to replay assist and or review by coach's challenge. So don't hit Stafford. Wait, Stafford's still on the Rams, right? I didn't miss nothing.
Yeah. No, he's still there.
And then the Jets want to expand the crackback prohibition to players who go in motion and go beyond the center to block. You're gonna have to show me that one on film.
Yeah, because you can explain it all day long, but I need to see video proof or
Yeah, that's a whole lot of fancy football terms.
Yeah,
I need film.
Can we at least can we just get something that we're like with the replays that they do on these challenges and whatnot to be more consistent? Because God, they were all over the place.
Well, again, we're supposed to have full-time refs, I think, this coming year. So this offseason, in theory, they should be going through their stuff and learning everything, and everything will be good. I did see a whole bunch of guys retired.
I think Jerome Boger was one of them.
He was.
Yeah, there's too many questionable calls late in games that cost teams wins that, it's a little makes you wonder, especially with all the betting now. I mean, maybe that was part of the script.
Who knows? All right. I know it's where do we want to go? Do we want to go Browns? Do we want to go Panthers?
What the hell are we talking about with the Browns?
They reworked the deal.
They did think. Speaking of reworking a deal, I have numbers.
Not surprised. I would hope so.
How shitty is it for us?
This year, his cap hit is only $19 million.
Listen, for the total length of the contract on a scale of 1 to my underbritches earlier today, where's it at?
Okay. Let me break it down a little bit here. So this year, your cap hit is $19 million. It's great. That's actually really good. Somehow, because I don't think this was in here before. He's got a voidable year now.
Yeah, he didn't have one before.
In 2027, which will be an automatic dead cap of $9 million, which whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2027. So that leaves you 2024, 25, and 26. Those 3 years, you have a cap hit each year of just shy of $64 million.
Good God.
Y'all are going to go through this again next year. I don't know what you're going to do.
And restructure again. Well, I mean, it freed up, 36 mil?
Yes. Yeah, it freed up 36 mil. And so you guys actually made some moves today. Not that you made huge ones, but you did. So.
Re-sign the center, which we kind of need because with the kid we have, Harris, coming off an injury, it's kind of nice to know we have that guy that was there all season.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it allowed you guys to re-sign some guys and at least do things as opposed to just start cutting guys because y'all were pretty close to that.
We need Sudds in here because I need him to try to pronounce the guy's name that the Browns signed from the Texans or whatever he came from.
Oh yeah, let's see if I can find him.
Obo something.
Obo, yeah. To be honest, it was a name I recognized too.
Because he played for the Rams, I heard.
I honestly, I don't remember. I saw the name. I recognized the name as, oh, hey, yeah,
I've heard
this guy's
of him.
out there.
Listen, you want to talk about names? A few years ago, listening to Joe Buck, Butcher, Chris Mufatu Mahafala, just over and over.
That's why I miss Chris Berman.
Yeah, he didn't have to get the name right. He would just make up a nickname.
Right.
Berman's still on. He does
like the 1 minute highlights or 3 minute highlights or something.
He does. It's every Sunday night at like midnight. Is that it airs? It's like a half hour.
I mean, I think that's the most surprising move, and I guarantee you. I mean, we all know it's for the money. Was Jesse Bates to the Falcons?
You know, sorry, I'm not going to go to Jesse Bates. I'm going to the Falcons since you brought it up. It's like what surprised me was the trade for a tight end.
Yeah. When you got Kyle Pitts, or is it one of those things now that they don't have Ridley? They're going to try to use more of Pitts as a wide receiver than a tight end.
Maybe.
He's built like a wide receiver.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It was I saw that, and that I definitely raised an eyebrow. Like, really? And it's not a cheap tight end either. If I remember right, it's double digit millions per year.
I want to say it was like 18.
Yeah. So yes, Mr. Okoronkwo, which I did not pronounce that correctly, signed him for 3 years. He's costing you $19 million this year. No, sorry, total. He's the only guy that you've signed, but you know, it's day one. You guys still have $22 million to spend now that you've redone.
And we're going to spend that on Adam Thielen.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's already talking about it because, oh my God, you know, he had his best years when Stefanski was his offensive coordinator and yada yada. And
what is the likelihood though that Deshaun Watson ever sees every dollar of that contract?
He will.
It's guaranteed.
It's all guaranteed. The entire contract is guaranteed.
He's going to be. We're going to be paying him like the Mets are paying Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla.
Yes.
Bobby Bonilla. Yes. That's how we're going to be paying him. He's going to be retired 10 years, and it's just going to be Deshaun Watson Day where he gets his check.
Honestly, it's going to be like every day in the second week of March, y'all are going to be redoing his contract.
Yeah. For the next foreseeable future.
It's going to be 2040, and he's going to be retired for 10 years, and y'all are just going to still be redoing his contract every year.
And Jimmy Haslam will still be here, unfortunately.
Maybe we'll have a Super Bowl win by then.
Browns-Lions Super Bowl in the next 10 years.
I think the Browns are closer than you think, but I honestly think within the next 5, the Lions will be there.
Here's the thing. They may be closer than I think. The problem is I feel that they're further away than I thought a year ago. If that makes any sort of sense. Yes.
No, for sure. I agree with you 100%. This year was a step back. The awful defense, the finger pointing and the blaming on the coaching staff every week in press conferences, the inability for the players to come together. There is serious systemic problems in that organization from top down. And the inability to build, like, to be quite honest, Jacoby Brissett at quarterback really wasn't that bad. And he was building something. And I think with a little bit more solid of a line and a way better defense, you could have got some really good things out of Jacoby Brissett, especially if you ran the ball.
I think the biggest thing for me is that I would have liked to have seen them stick with the original 6-game suspension and then see how the season played out that way.
You knew the 6-game suspension wasn't sticking. The only thing I will say, though, is that when more things come out about other players that calls for suspensions, I hope that Goodell is as heavy-handed
as he was with Deshaun.
Because if he's not, then you can just point and go, all right, well, then you a little bit of a bias there.
No, it's just he hates Cleveland.
I don't know that he hates Cleveland. I think that there is a favoritism bias. You know what I mean? With players.
Did Zolt freeze up? Okay.
No.
And you were just like the way you were frozen there for me. I'm like, wait, he's not moving. His eyes ain't even blinking.
It was off balance, and
You're muted.
I'm prepping for next topic.
Gotcha. I thought George might have been playing with you. He's got you on mute.
I just kick him. So, all right. The Browns, they didn't do a whole heck of a lot, but what they did actually perhaps saved their offseason because they can actually have an offseason now. I don't know what it does for the next 3 years, but
again,
at least they have an offseason.
Again, March 13th,
2024,
Browns reworked Deshaun Watson's contract.
Yeah. Give him like 2 more avoidable years. And then his 2025 cap hit will be 80 something million.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah. All right, Adam, let's go to your Panthers. So moves have been made.
Are they done yet?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, they've still got about 20 million in cap space that they're sitting on. That's a decent spot to be in. I'm just going to go over the free agents real quick. They picked up defensive tackle Shy Tuttle, 3 years, 19 and a half.
Which he's one of the 3 that left Philly.
Yeah. Philly
lost a lot.
They re-signed their center, Bradley Bozeman, 3 years, 18 million. They signed strong safety Von Bell from Cincinnati. I don't have terms on that yet.
They just brought it out. Schefter just tweeted it not that long ago, so they're starting to come out, filter out.
So they're making some moves. They're making some additions. A couple defensive players, re-sign your center, which is always a nice thing if you're happy with them. Like I said, they got about 20 million in space right now to deal with if they don't do anything else. And then we have the draft. Formerly picking at number 9.
To move to number 1.
Before we get into the whole number 1 and what are we doing, let's address the other part of that trade.
Yeah, getting rid of your star wide receiver.
Getting rid of DJ Moore. The reason I bring it up is because I look at the roster now.
They don't have a receiver, a number 1.
Technically, you have 7 wide receivers.
Like I said, not a number 1.
You have 7 wide receivers with a total cap hit of 7.6 million among the 7.
That's a problem.
I'm going to go down the list here.
Well, I know of 2 offhand, and that's that Marshall.
Terrace Marshall.
Shy Smith or She Smith.
Yep. You've got him. You've got Chenault.
Oh, I forgot about Chenault being there.
He's there. You've got Preston Williams. You've got Steven Sullivan.
Was Preston the one from Green Bay?
The one from Miami.
Or Miami.
College, Colorado State. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, doesn't. Yep, from Miami. Yep.
Okay.
You've got Steven Sullivan.
Yeah.
CJ Saunders.
Keep going next.
And Derek Wright.
Which 4 of those guys probably won't. 4 of those guys probably won't even make the squad.
I was going to say practice squad, special teams at best.
Yes. Hopefully you guys speak because you're about to be the gunner. If they which they kind of don't have that, but they still, you know what I mean? But
so yeah, you're looking at Chenault, Marshall, and then Preston Williams and She Smith.
Well, don't forget you have
Rashad Higgins no more, huh?
You got Tommy Trimble though. He's a decent tight end.
Okay.
And then was it Ian Thomas or is he gone?
Ian Thomas is still there. In
And
fact,
he-
he's a $6.7 million cap hit. So, but they haven't cut him yet.
Yet.
He's going to get cut.
And then I'm trying to think too, because I know you have Chuba as your one back. Who was this? Who was the other one?
It's you've got Blackshear and you've got Spencer Brent. Did you guys? You had Deontay Foreman, didn't you?
Yeah, but he must be a free agent then, because I know he came on. Yeah, because he came on toward the end when it was kind of like he was kind of number one, and he overtook Hubbard as the one.
Yeah.
Still not the same. Not seeing 22 in the backfield.
No, and it will not be.
Hey, that trade worked out for y'all, though.
Well, we'll see. To be determined.
We'll see what.
So far,
with it.
It worked out so far.
You haven't screwed it up yet.
Yeah.
Other than the fact
Y'all
that
got rid of
have
Sam Mono, so y'all moves, making moves, good moves.
I was gonna say you got rid of your wide receiver, which is fine. You don't have anybody to throw him the ball, so why do you need a wide receiver for? Granted, you also don't have anybody to run the ball, but whatever.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. And I
Baby
shouldn't
steps.
say that because you do have Matt Corral
Coming off an ACL injury.
and Jacob Eason.
That guy's still around.
Yes, he's only 26.
I understand it, but I got so many cards of this dude that he was supposed to be the end all in Indianapolis, and
Was he the guy that drafted like the 7th round or something, or like real late?
He came out
Was
of
he the guy that
Washington.
The Panthers have no running back, but maybe the Browns will trade you Nick Chubb if you pay half of Deshaun Watson's contract in 2025.
Can't afford that. I don't know. Who is it over there? Is it Tepper? He can't afford that.
Yeah, no. He don't have that Walmart money like the Broncos owner.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, let's talk about the trade now, or at least the draft part of the trade. So it got a little weird, got a little interesting. Y'all moved up to 1. Congrats. Good job. You get your guy, whoever that may be.
That's the problem.
So to me, the guy has been young
All
the
along.
entire way. And you're not going to tell me that at the combine, because he measured 5'10", you
That's gonna change your mind.
that you didn't already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
So-
young all along too. It obviously.
And I can't remember who it was. Somebody threw in the thing about, okay, well, now they've said they want to take Stroud, but they're willing to move down.
Well, then why trade up to 1?
And I believe my response was, they're playing a game and they're playing it with somebody. And I can tell you right now, they're playing a game. They're playing a game with Houston.
With Houston?
Because Houston wants Stroud. And what they're flat out saying is, hey, we might take Stroud and leave.
So if you want him, you got to trade with us.
If you want him, you can come on up to 1.
But I tell you, Saturday Star, they might trade that pick to get more assets.
But that's fine. I mean, as long as you take, if you take, but see, the thing
quarterback.
is Houston could smoke screen you, say they're going to trade up to 1 and take Stroud, and then turn around and take Bryce Young.
This is true. This is unless of course you legit don't matter. It doesn't matter to you which one you take.
Yeah.
Unless you're smoke screening to get them to take Bryce Young,
So you can take Stroud.
so you can take Stroud. So you could trade with them, get more assets, and take Stroud.
So you're getting extra picks and the quarterback you want for your future.
Yeah. Carolina's trying to Maria Antoinette it and have their cake and eat it too.
Yes. And to be honest, that's only going to work on certain teams. The thing is, Houston might be one of them.
Yeah.
That might be a team that falls for that.
I think Houston is one of them, and I also think Indianapolis is one of them.
Indy is so desperate for a quarterback. The question is, who are they desperate for?
I don't see why they just don't go get Baker.
Oh, God, why?
He's not that awful.
Yes, he is.
I think Indy would rather take Will Levis. than
Oh,
sign
God.
Baker.
I think Indy would rather have Andy Dalton.
I wouldn't go that far.
I want Andy Dalton.
I was going
I
to say
think listen,
if they're signing Andy Dalton, it's because they're taking Will Levis and they need somebody to compare him to so that people actually want to keep Levis on the roster.
Yeah. I just don't. The whole thing with Will Levis being like, he wasn't impressive at Kentucky to me.
stop jumping.
You know, like
Hey.
I didn't see the hype.
See the
behind
Zach Wilson. Everybody
Yeah.
hyped him up. They hyped up Zach Wilson. I knew Zach Wilson was trash all along. I said it. I'm like, he played at BYU. Who he played? Who did he play?
You know what? Sometimes it's obvious to everybody except for a GM.
Quit instigating Zolt, by the way.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Well, I don't know. If they draft a British quarterback, I think they just take Richardson. Just say, let's just take a prospect of the future. I'm not with taking prospects at 3 though. Projects at 3 though.
So just coming across the wire, Jameis Winston to New Orleans. He's staying.
Oh, they redid his contract.
Yeah, $8 million, 1 year deal.
Well, Don's a free agent then. One of them guys is going to have to go.
That's not a terrible $8 million 1 year. That's not a terrible deal.
No, that's not a terrible deal. And
Oh,
where else is he going to go? Where's he going to go? Is he going to go back to the Bucks? I don't know that the Bucks want him back. Number one.
Well,
and number two,
the Bucks are in salary cap hell for the next 5 years.
True.
That's the NFL or the NFLPA. And I'm not saying don't go get your money because you're playing a violent game and your career lifespan is probably 3 or 4 years at best. However, there at some point, somebody needs to step in and save these teams from themselves, because when you've got the Browns making a $200 and whatever it was $1 million deal guaranteed, and you have to play the rushing nesting doll with a contract for the next 10 years until it's paid off so that you need to do something because you are going to bankrupt yourself and bankrupt your league.
Yeah. So also seeing, since we're talking still about that first pick, that apparently the Texans and the Raiders also made serious inquiries about trading up, but the Panthers just at the end of the day had the better deal.
I have no doubt.
Y'all didn't have the better deal. Y'all had the better wide receiver offer in the trade.
Well, I mean,
they said DJ Moore was a must. They're like, you're giving us DJ Moore, or we have no deal. So it's like,
yeah, that was kind of surprised that they would do that, but I mean, it is what it is.
My understanding is the original offer Carolina made did not have DJ Moore in it. It had an extra first-round pick in there, and Chicago turned around and said, "No, you can take that other pick out, but we want more. We need a wide receiver."
Yeah, didn't they sign another one or no?
I would have to pull up their moves. Hold on.
Yeah, I could have swore the Bears, because I know the Bears made some. They were the team with.
I got a question for you though, because I seen something they was talking about, like with the salary cap or something. They were saying that the Bears have to spend $43 million this free agency. Like, they have to.
Like there's a salary floor? There might be. I honestly, it's the NFL, so you generally don't have to worry about it. Everybody hits it. I don't know.
They said
I'd
the
have
Bears
to look that
have
up.
to spend $43 million. I'm like, they have to spend $43 million.
But I mean, we'll get to the Bears
because money.
the Bears spent money. There's no doubt. I don't see any. Okay, I'll bring up the two guys that are actually listed on here. We've got
the tackle.
Well, I've got Nate Davis, guard from Tennessee.
Or guard.
3 years, $30 million. Tremaine Edmonds, inside linebacker from Buffalo to Chicago. 4 years, $72 million.
He's worth it.
It's a lot of money.
Buffalo about to lose a bunch of defensive stars. I heard they tried to trade Ed Oliver.
It's Buffalo and Philly, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. Edmonds, fantastic linebacker. Great player. Earn money. You know what? Go get your money. Here's the thing. He's an off-ball linebacker.
Oh,
You've got a lot of other holes to fill.
yeah.
You've got D-line help. You need D-line help.
You need offensive line help.
That you spent money because you needed to spend money, but at the same
Right.
time, okay. I mean, you got your wide receiver in DJ Moore. I didn't see anything else on there for free agency, but let me just pull up their wide receiving list. You've got DJ Moore. Oh, you don't need anybody else. You've got Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool. And don't forget Equiminius.
Oh, yeah, the other St. Brown.
Oh, another St. Brown brother.
He's not Amon Ra.
And then you got your
Just gotta
special
wait for the
teams
third
guys.
one. Oh, yeah. Those guys.
Yeah. Velas Jones, Derice Fontaine.
Yeah, it's French.
Simba Webster and Joe Reed.
Oh, God. They got a bunch of 90s names. Simba Webster?
Yeah. I'm pulling him up. He played at Eastern Washington. He's spent a little bit of time in Los Angeles with the Rams. And then he's been with Chicago practice squad. He's a practice squad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Bears are trying to make noise. You know what I'm saying?
They had the money.
Line still. Make some line. Get a line.
Yeah, they need a line.
Get some tackles. So he ain't running around for his life again.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have receivers, but you also need to have more than 2 seconds to throw the ball.
And the thing is they're in a great position at 9. They could get probably any of the, defensive lineman guys or even a linebacker or something on the defensive side of the ball.
They got
9.
their choice of offensive linemen. You got them three with the Paris Johnson. I don't remember the guy's name for Penn State. Begin with an S. Storkowski or something, I want to say.
It's
So
like Gronkowski or something. Skorowski.
Yeah, name I can't pronounce. So you got your choice at lineman there. I mean, the whole thing with Javon Carr from Georgia, they talking about he might fall to 9 to
he might not even be in the first round.
Chicago. So yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those things. We're close to the quote unquote incident. So as time goes on, how people feel about it will start to solidify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna fall as far as they're saying.
Yeah, he's not.
No, and how, Mike?
Yeah.
Apparently it's third.
I guess I'm just curious to see if Carolina actually does stay at 1.
I think they will.
I think they will.
I think they're just fishing, just to see what they can get.
They're hoping the team will get desperate.
It might be one of those situations where they feel that perhaps they underpaid, and they just want to see if somebody's willing to overpay.
Right. Yeah, I guess. I know I got to retract my statement because I put in the chat, that I'll buy whoever they draft jersey. I don't think I can do that if it's gonna, if it's that guy from Columbus. I can't see myself doing it.
Anthony Richardson, number 1.
You gotta let that go, man. It's not college no more.
This is true. It's not college.
I know. But
it's just down to People Jones, and he played for Michigan. I could, but I don't.
Right. If CJ Stroud
soon as they
comes
leave
into Carolina and wins a Super Bowl with Carolina, the amount of just self-hatred Adam will have.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'll be happy because he never beat Michigan. That's one thing I can always hold my head on. I know. I when it first came out, I was like, they're going immediately. I thought Stroud. Then the more I looked into it and did research, it's like David Tepper's really high on Bryce Young. So now they got the dilemma, but they got 40 some days to decide.
Yeah, 41 days to throw people off the scent.
Yeah.
Well, with the Raiders signing Jimmy, it takes them out because I was thinking like maybe the Raiders will try to make a move. CJ Stroud.
Here's the thing. The what it does. The Raiders. I think the Raiders still could be interested, but they're no longer desperate. So they're not
Right.
going to make a stupid move. I mean, it's the Raiders. They could.
They got
still make
options.
a stupid move.
They don't got Al Davis running it no more.
No.
Sorry, 4.2 speed not going to get you a roster spot no more.
I was going to say, but have you seen the guy that is running it? Anyway, it's not a thing where it's like, oh my God, now we have to sell the farm to make sure we get our guy. No, we have a guy that could actually, give us a year, maybe even 2.
Really nice with Josh McDaniels too.
Maybe he only gives us 4 games until he gets hurt again. But sorry, I shouldn't say that about our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, Jimmy G.
That's cool. I mean, he got porn star to keep him. He got porn star to keep him occupied if he's hurt.
Oh my God, the man is now in Vegas.
Yeah, right.
Oh God, yes.
Look out, Bunny Ranch.
Oh man.
So
he's gonna have fun there.
Adam, I see what you threw in the chat about the Bills.
Yeah, just what do you think that's all about, huh?
I think they suddenly got scared when they started losing guys.
Well, that and the fact that there's still that rumor that Dalvin Cook's being dangled out there via trade.
That ain't no rumor, man. He is out there if anybody wants to.
Could you imagine that they get the brothers?
Oh, they restructured Josh Allen and Von Miller.
Yeah,
$32 million in space.
I don't know about that.
No,
they're looking for a big name.
Here's the thing. There's plenty of guys that you can make an argument for number 1. However, there are plenty of teams that are not in a position to take any but a select few positions. For example, quarterback.
You talking about NFL draft?
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson is not a top overall pick for me.
Carolina is in a position they have to take a quarterback. Houston is in a position they have to take a quarterback.
All right, they got Case Keenum now.
They have to take a quarterback.
For the 3rd time.
Right.
For the 3rd time he's there in Texas. He loved it there.
I think Cook would.
Somebody will sign him because he's a very talented running back. I mean, my God, his yards per attempt is ridiculous. I'm going to take that statement though, and I'm going to bounce it around because the Austin Eckler thing threw me for a loop today.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
See that coming.
It's not going to happen. Y'all know my love for Austin Eckler. That's my 2nd favorite running back behind Nate Chubb. I want the Browns to make that happen. It won't, but if it happens, I will buy an Austin Eckler jersey. I'll buy 2 of them and home and away.
like I said in response to you, man, it's like there's 30 teams knocking on that door right now.
Yeah.
Because
man,
the year he just had.
Yeah.
It'd be stupid not to at least pick up the phone and see, okay, what do you want for him?
What was the contract? Because they said he requested a trade over a contract negotiation. What was y'all trying to offer him?
Okay. He's going into his last year of his deal. He's making $6.9 million, I believe.
And after the year he had, he deserves a raise.
He's looking for a raise. He's definitely looking for a raise.
He deserves it, deservedly so.
He does. I just don't know what he's expecting, and I don't know what the Chargers were offering. But obviously, the two are fairly far apart.
And I'll tell you what, with the way things are going right now, another team that's spending a shit ton of money that could use a stud running back, Miami.
Yeah, Miami's they are making every move that they should make.
Well, they fleeced the Rams out of Jalen Ramsey, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
They didn't give up hardly anything.
The Rams just wanted to get rid of him. They said the Rams basically, they're saying that Aaron Donald,
Mike, you're crazy,
Cup, and Matthew Stafford are the only people they're saying are untradeable. But then they're saying that they're willing to trade Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald if the price is right.
People
or they said if Aaron Donald wants to go to another team, they're willing to try to trade Aaron Donald.
People start calling and offering up the farm, you're gonna listen.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Somebody is gonna pay. Somebody will pay. It's just there are guys that are just too talented to be stuck on the sidelines.
I see Hunt more to Buffalo than I do Miami.
God, can you see Buffalo swinging a deal for Austin Eckler?
Oh God, no! Please don't.
Oh.
Or Philly?
You know the team that they was talking about that somebody said if Cincy get rid of Joe Mixon,
Because of his legal issues,
Eckler could be right there.
that'd be dangerous too with that offense.
Oh Lord, I don't want to see Austin Eckler twice a year. The one time he played the Browns, he just gashed us.
There's just not a whole lot of teams out there where adding Eckler doesn't just massively improve them.
You got that rare breed with him and CMC.
And Naeem Hines, though, it's not Austin Eckler.
I get it. The problem is, yes, you're talking Naeem Hines, and I'm pausing so that I don't put his name and Austin Eckler's name too close together because they're don't that far apart, that close together.
Yeah. They were never close.
I didn't even think about it. You did bring up a good point, though, with like, what's Philly going to do? Because they really don't have any running back on their roster at all right now, as far as I know.
No, and that was the thing when the Dalvin Cook thing came around. I'm like, wow, that would be that'd be an interesting fit there. My God. Jalen Hurts running or throwing the ball to Eckler or, Yeah.
And then Devontae Smith.
Explode. Yeah.
A.J. Brown. I mean, there's plenty of options out there. I mean, plus two, don't forget, Texas's running back's going to go in the first round somewhere. And I think Philly has 2 picks, don't they?
Yeah, they have 2 picks. Bijan Robinson. Yeah. Yep. I will say this. In the long run, this is probably just a negotiating ploy, and the Chargers end up re-signing him.
Right.
Because legit, what are you going to do to that fan base if you trade Austin Eckler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that guy went undrafted.
Yeah. I mean, other than Eckler, the fans are going to revolve around Herbert.
That's all they have at this point.
Because it damn sure ain't hamstring Keenan Allen. It ain't his injury prone ass.
It's not him. And Mike Williams is a fine player.
Just hurt a lot.
He's hurt a lot. So I would imagine in that instance, he's kind of polarizing.
Yeah, because they don't even have the defensive players like they used to. I mean, they got Khalil Mack, but he hasn't.
Still got Derwin James. He's still one of the best safeties.
Yeah. Well, don't they got J.C. Jackson, but he got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, he got hurt last year. Then he broke his ankle. They ain't still got Joey Bosa, I think. They still got Joey Bosa?
Yeah, that Bosa's still there.
He been kind of injury prone too.
Well, both. I mean, a lot of players are. I mean, you're going to have the injuries. I think, hell, even Nick was injured for a little bit for San Fran.
Yeah.
It's an interesting cap situation for them. They've got $18 million in space for this year.
You got to resign Herbert though.
They got to be looking at it.
That's got to be getting close.
That's getting close. Nobody is making mega bucks, but you've got 6 players that have a cap hit above 10. We've mentioned them: J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and your center Corey Linsley. Keenan Allen's probably in his last year with the franchise.
Yeah,
just because
I still think they're going to cut him.
They still might, but they don't have to right now. I mean, they're above board by $18 million.
They restructure his deal or something.
They could do that. He's got one more year left. He's got a 2024, and that's when they could cut him and only take a hit of 11. This year, if they cut him, it's $24 million. So you're only paying. You're only paying him 12. So
he's there. He's there. He's there for another year. They stay healthy this year.
So do we think at this point, depending on, granted they made the playoffs last year, is Staley still on the hot seat?
Here's the thing. I think they were disappointed in how they finished last year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would not surprise me if he is.
Or are they going to use the excuse though that with all the injuries that we had that we still made it to the playoffs? We'll give them another year.
I mean,
he was a problem, but then you blow like a 20-point lead though to the Jaguars.
Yeah, I was gonna say the argument you just made is the argument I'm making if I'm in there with the GM and the owner saying it's the why I should keep my job.
Right.
But yeah, I mean there's questions there. I think this is a hot seat season. So we'll see. There's expectations.
Yeah.
I think so too.
This is not a team that is sitting there like Chicago where it's like you're flat out rebuilding. It's like, no, we expect you to make the playoffs and we expect you to make some noise.
Yeah. I did read somewhere, like, I don't know how true it is. They said that before this trade went down for the first pick that Carolina was looking at getting Lamar. I don't know who got. Well, I figured
Something about they're going to trade the 2 first-round draft picks and throw it out there and see if they can get Lamar.
Because I just wanted to make sure it's one of those things like it wasn't like a fake site. Like if you guys had heard it too, you know what I mean? I always try to get back up like if you got from you guys.
I mean, I did not specifically hear Carolina. However, I did hear that there were multiple teams that have at least considered it. And here's the thing. He's on a non-exclusive tender.
Yeah.
So you're not trading for him. But if you sign him,
they can match it.
They can match it, or they let him go and you are giving up 2 first-rounders.
Gotcha.
So
I guess we talk about the 49ers losing people. They just lost Jimmy Ward.
Yeah, he went to join his former defensive coordinator in Houston. Well, speaking of, since we were on with the Chargers, there's rumors.
About him, though. Eric Kendrick just signed with the Chargers.
Wait, what?
Yeah. We talk about that captain and be like, oh, yeah, they're going to cut that guy. They him 12. He just signed with the Chargers.
But speaking with the Chargers, is that there's rumors that they're going to sign John Johnson, who was released by the Browns.
I heard that re-9 with Staley. I heard, yeah.
I heard that too.
I mean, sure, the defense.
Well, as long as he doesn't.
Brown missed out on Jesse Bates, but I'm it's crazy that it is. I'm kind of, I guess I'm happy in a way. I still want the one guy I was telling you about, the safety from Philly. You can get him on a cheaper option.
Chauncey Gardner or whatever.
Yeah, he led the NFL in interception last year. Like,
I will say this: I've always been a huge believer that when it comes to free agency, whether it's NFL or NHL, since those are the 2 that I actually pay attention to, the successful teams don't go out there and get the guy for the 80 million. 3 years, 80 million. You go out there and you identify the guys that you're going to get for 4 years, 30.
Yeah. And
you get a few of those guys and you plug the holes that you need plugged. And then maybe at some point you're going to pull the trigger on one massive guy that's going to get you over the top.
Yeah.
But
the Browns missed out on Draymond Jones.
Of course they did.
I'm happy they didn't get Draymond Jones though. He's going to Seattle.
I heard he's got Marcus Davenport going to the Vikings.
His PFF grade, he was the 95th ranked defensive tackle.
They said he wasn't good against the run. Draymond wasn't.
That. Yep.
So,
which that's not what you're looking for in your defensive tackle.
No.
I like Dalvin Thomas if he's available.
Is that Tomlinson?
Tomlinson, yeah, Tomlinson. Hey, the Browns did make another move outside that one guy from Texas. I'm calling him Double O. That's what I'm gonna call him. Double O.
We were
hockey.
Well, a 1-year deal.
Well,
he was actually playing.
Mike Wilson.
He was actually playing pretty. Taki was playing pretty good until he got that ACL injury.
Taki trash. Put him up there with David Njoku, who I don't
Yeah.
like.
Okay. Well, here we are talking about all these other moves. We haven't heard the good. Why are you not talking about that team in Detroit, there, Mister Stats Man?
I put that in the chat. Yeah, Cameron Sutton.
I'm glad you brought it up. The kind of guys that I like for teams to get are the guys that you can get for 3 years, 33 million.
That's why
that plug a hole. Just maybe. Excuse me. The fact that we have 2 cornerbacks on our roster that actually have game experience, and neither one of them is very good. Picking up a guy like Cam Sutton, who's 28, coming off the best year of his career, I'm okay with that, because you know what? It's not going to stop there, because I still think we're taking one in the draft. It's just now we don't have to take a guy at 6. We don't have to take a corner at 6. We can take one at 18 if we want.
Yeah, and you can have your probably get you. He might still be there. The kid from Penn State, Porter Jr.
I was gonna say there's like 5 or 6 corners that are.
Or Ringo from Georgia.
Yep, he's another one.
Ringo.
So I like the move. I think that's the kind of player that they were hoping to get. I know a lot of things I heard was asking Pittsburgh guys about him, and they said he was the smartest guy in the room. So this is it's definitely it's a move I like. It's a position that they needed, and we did not overpay. So, yay. They also re-signed Alex Anzalone, which is fine.
He's very underrated.
He is. He's one of those guys that is linebacker. We needed to make sure we were decent at linebacker because we had issues. He's a fine player. I want to say he's a defensive captain. The issue I think personally I have with him is he's good. I think when you get to the next level, he's in a spot where that's going to hurt us.
Right.
Like he's not quite good enough. But that's just my opinion. And obviously the team felt differently. Granted, we got him at 3 years for $18 million. So it's not like we're breaking the bank for him.
No. The one move that I did not like, though, was seeing Patrick Peterson going to Pittsburgh.
Well, no, I imagine you wouldn't.
I mean, he's just going to be matched up with Amari all year, in 2 games.
I didn't see how much they paid for him.
I want to say it was 2 years, 20, or that wasn't 20. I don't remember what it was. It just came up not that long ago.
Okay. I have 2 years, but I don't have a dollar amount. But again, the dude he's going to be 33 by the time the season starts.
But he's still a hell of a player.
I thought I saw somewhere that it was $24 million.
224.
Remind me of.
That's not bad.
He's the defensive version of Steve Smith. He is still fast, like 33. They like, look, just keep up with wide receivers so we don't get beat a lot.
Well, I mean, that's interesting though that at 33 you're picking up a 2-year contract. So you feel that you're going to get another contract after this?
Well, it's a 2-year deal, $14 million with 5.85 guaranteed.
That's not bad.
No, it's one of the lower amounts for a guaranteed money contract we've heard in a long time. But Iodonis dude is way overweight. No offense. Like one fat guy calling another guy fat, but like the dude's a big boy. Like I don't think he can move like he used to when he was in Washington.
You got to trade for DeForest Buckner, right there.
Well, he's with the Colts, wasn't he?
I don't know where he's at now.
I don't know where he's at neither, but they got to trade for DeForest.
Yes,
Buckner,
he's with the Colts. He is signed. He's not a free agent, so yes, you'd have to trade for him. He's scheduled to make just under $20 million this year.
Yeah.
You know who they signed the dude from the Texans. I was about to say, man, they should have tried to make a push, even though he's like 33, 34, but he still can ball. They should try to make a push at Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just out there.
All you need to do is just have him stand up at the line and bat down balls because he's pretty damn good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that was a name when I saw he got cut. I'm just like, that's an interesting name. I mean, we could use a defensive tackle.
Imagine him on that line with Aiden.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Ooh, I said, I'm like, dang, they cut Calais Campbell. Like, I need to hop on that. Like that boy.
Was it 9:30?
And that 34 still can go.
There's really not much of a market for like defensive ends and stuff really this year, is there?
Typically, a position like that, you wait till after the draft because
Yeah.
you wait to see what you can get. You know,
True.
you see if one of those edge rushers can fall to you. You know, because Lord knows why you're going to pay $18 million a year when you can pay a rookie contract.
I'll checking to see it. If I
mean, granted, everybody's going to be looking for that, you know, all-star Aiden Hutchinson in this year's draft. But
yeah,
you know,
I don't think there really is one.
Well, I mean,
the kid from
compare.
Well, what the Anderson kid from Bama, but he's a linebacker, I believe. So
yeah, he's more of a linebacker than
he's listed as defensive end, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
more of a stand-up, if that.
Yeah.
Someone put 314. That's crazy though.
It's hard to believe it. 40 days, 41 days already to the damn draft.
The Browns signed Zach, not the Browns. The Broncos signed Zach Allen.
Thomas, stop.
It's just going to be weird for us not, you know what I'm saying? Because we got, 3-4 years without a first-round pick?
Can we go one week without talking about the NFL in the draft?
No.
No, it's not possible.
I just I don't care that much. Like,
we could talk NBA. Then everybody would come out.
pull a Zolt and leave.
We could talk about NASCAR standings.
We could. NASCAR fantasy standings.
Yes, that's legit. It's the only thing I'm going to bring up. Okay, hang on. Let's bring this. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody likes the move for the guy that we can't pronounce.
Well, they said that, I know a lot of the Browns fans were complaining and whining and crying about it because they don't know much about him. But they said that when you look at his stats compared to the rest of the on the Browns defensive line or linebackers not named Garrett, he had like 20 more like tackles, or like he was 20 times better than everybody else on the Browns team other than Garrett.
He had 5 sacks last year with the Texans. They feel like the Browns feel like he can get more with playing outside of Myles Garrett. He can. He's young. What is like 26, 27? I don't know. I mean, you got him fairly cheap too. 3 years, $19 million. You ain't really
right.
Spurs bank on him.
Holy shit! Sorry, pardon. Draymond Jones. Did you see the numbers?
No.
3 years, $51.53 million, $23.5 million in year one, and then $35.2 over 2 years.
Glad the Browns ain't signed him.
That's too much.
Woo-wee.
That is too much for a dude that can't.
That's a lot for the 95th ranked defensive tackle. That's a lot.
It was one of those things. Like I got a notification and I saw those numbers. I'm like, whoa, that was overpaid.
They paid that much. Jesus, John Snyder. He loves spending that money. That's too much.
Right?
No way.
All right. Assuming I can get this to work, I'm going to share screen and we are going to take a look at something that isn't football.
Are we going to do a bracket?
No, sorry.
We should
thought of that before.
We should do a bracket.
You're right. We should, but I didn't think
What,
of
for
that.
college basketball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you see how bad and how atrocious.
Then I'll
it
leave.
is.
I don't watch college basketball.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
You don't have Clint. You don't have to. The thing is let's just do a bracket and see how we do.
Be some shit if we got it like granted, a perfect bracket is very rare.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Okay. I was gonna say some of y'all have probably seen this. This was, I believe, over the weekend. So Division I baseball. This is what Southland Conference, Mississippi Valley State against New Orleans. Now, we're not going to show just the one pitch. We're going to show the pitch before it, which quote unquote is the rationale for. So we're going to take a look at the pitch and the hitter's reaction.
Can you make it bigger?
Hold. How's that?
That works.
Okay. Now, my only problem is I can't see the cursor, but that's okay. We'll figure this out.
There you go.
So here's the first pitch. A little bit low, called strike.
And that right there, the reaction is what I heard the umpire was ticked off about.
This is what he's supposedly ticked off about. But here's the game ending called strike.
No way in hell that's a strike.
Neither one of those were strikes.
Neither one was.
I'm dude. No, damn that, bro. Get off me, bro. He got to see me. You can't. No, like, come on, man.
I do like the fact. I like the fact that the opposing team's catcher kind of got in there and said, "Dude, you don't want to do it."
Like, no.
He understand that because, like, no, because we won. Then we
Rewind that back just a little bit after that first pitch. Watch the bench reaction from the opposite team. They got the call in their favor, and he starts hopping around. Watch the reaction of the bench right here.
Like I said, it's okay.
Watch the reaction from the bench of the. This is the opposing team, mind you. But you'll see it here in a second. Like he starts because they do a replay of the first pitch. Because they'll go back to it. Give it a second.
Yeah.
Like there's guys with hands over their mouths. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit.
You don't
like,
want to
wow,
win like
you really
that.
made that.
I mean, I get the dude's mad. It's not. I get it to a point. But dude, you're also down 4 runs. There's 2 outs and there's nobody on base.
I don't care if I'm down 4 runs or not.
Well, I understand that. I'm looking at it.
No. I might be wired different. Like, no, ain't no way in hell you calling that a strike. Hell no. No.
You need
Neither
a
one
That's what your call. That's not a like. I understand if it's
Neither one of those
like,
pitches
like
is a strike.
yeah, okay, fine, but that one, no, hell no.
Explain
that one. Explain how that's a strike.
I'll say this: the umpire was suspended indefinitely from the conference after the game, so don't know what else is coming from that. Burrich is saying the batter should have been tossed with the pitch before,
and he would know because he's an umpire.
Now you know what? I can buy that.
For the jumping around that he was naming.
I can buy that. At the same time, I can
that was
also
the
buy
first pitch was more of a strike than the second one.
Yeah, but
no doubt.
That first pitch was well below the knees.
It bounced.
Yeah.
It bounced?
Yeah.
Because if you watch the catcher's glove, he does the old, drops down, then picks it up, like scoops it up off the ground.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I must be a high head when it comes to sports.
I
would have went crazy.
You are the umpire. You're there calling the balls and strikes, and that's fine if you get disagreed with. But no doubt he made that personal. You are supposed to be the adult in the room. You're the guy that's supposed to be sitting there going, it's like, you know what? We can handle this after the game. Or if you want to scream at me, I'll just boot you. That's fine. You don't make a game deciding decision because you're pissed at a player.
True.
Ever.
Well, maybe they should have just done what the Cardinals and Pirates game. The refs should have, or the umps should have just left in the 9th inning, and the team could have just played on without them. I would have had better results. That was when I saw that come up. I was like, "There is no way this dude let that." I cannot believe that dude allowed that. Like that is just uncalled for.
Yeah, and like Birch said, if he wanted to toss him after the previous pitch,
So be
I
it.
don't think a whole lot of people would have argued. They probably would have been pissed off, but
They would understand more.
exactly.
His
But no,
reaction.
instead you took it out on the entire team.
And it wasn't even close.
No, that was making a point.
That's the one that got me. That's the reason I would be
Well, he got-
upset. Like that's nowhere close.
If I'm not
I spoke out
mistaken,
on that.
if I'm not mistaken, that umpire got suspended.
Yeah, he's suspended until further notice, indefinite suspension. So we will see.
Could you imagine if that would have happened in a Major League Baseball game?
College World Series.
Yeah, or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the backlash that like he's getting a lot of backlash for that kind of game. But if it was put it on like a more professional level,
On the World Series, like Game 7.
oh,
That's
dude,
like the end and out. And
that'd
that's
be,
like
that'd be the typical Cleveland way to lose a World Series.
I was gonna say you'd have some bookies coming after you.
Yeah, yeah, I can see it. Sounded like a strike to me.
Well played.
All right, Mike, have a good one.
Thanks, Mike. Have a good night.
all right, Mike. That sound like a strike to me.
just throwing that out there. No, I saw that and I'm like, okay, this is worth me figuring out how to do screen share.
And that right there is a prime example of why we need the robot umpires.
There you go. See?
Until they malfunction and do the same thing. And then the batters take it out on them by going ahead and, beating it with the bat.
I was gonna say that call right there looks like automatic umpires using Tesla's auto drive software.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Got him. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know. I play a lot. I'm a hothead when it comes to sports, like so. It's just like if I feel like something's like egregious, I'm gonna react to it. And I ain't gonna lie, I playing football. I did that before. I got a couple personal foul penalties because I kind of like lose your temper. Like I feel like he held me, but you ain't call it. Like then they score a touchdown, like that bullshit. Like hold on, you're not gonna call that. So it's like, but at least he got suspended though. They like. Did he make any statements saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize"? And
I haven't heard nothing from the ump.
If I'm sure he has been told you ain't gonna say one damn word to anybody.
That's just gonna make it worse,
right?
Because the first question that any reporter is gonna come up with is, "What the hell was that?"
I mean, how do you justify that?
Right?
Because I guarantee you, league official calls him immediately following that game, like before the teams have gone to the locker rooms. That phone is ringing.
He hasn't even stepped off the field yet.
Yeah, what did you do? It's like, explain yourself. And what kind of explanation are you going to give? Oh, it looked like a strike to me.
Nothing's gonna. No matter what you come up with, it's not going to justify it.
No, I mean, saying it looked like a strike to me is probably worse than the truth.
Yeah.
It was just bad. It was just so bad and so egregious. It's just like, how?
Yeah. I mean, that I'm waiting for it because it's bound to happen that somebody's going to edit that just a bit outside.
Yeah, it's
Euchre's coming.
It's already there. it's somewhere.
No, waiting on the memes.
Well, that's what I love about technology and social media these days is that nothing can't get memed up and gifed within like nanoseconds anymore.
Oh yeah. I mean, they got apps now you can make memes and like do like refaces and everything like that. Like that reface app be funny that you got me hip to.
I told you.
I found my moment.
I found my file in it the other day and started watching some of the old refaces I did. I'm like, I need to get that app back and start doing it again.
Dang, I like the one I did. I put my face on Al Pacino, like Scarface. You just feel black doing cocaine just all up. Like, what?
I'll bet you we can find an AI engine and we can throw that in there and we can actually make that a strike.
Ooh. Make it look a lot better. Here, I edited it for you.
Make it look better.
Yeah.
Save that umpire's job.
So
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever ump again. I mean,
He probably
that's.
will.
I mean, he probably will. Just I don't know.
He will.
Man, that's rough. How do you come back from that? That's pretty rough.
You don't.
I mean, you just suck it up.
You're
and
in Angel Hernandez territory now.
yeah.
That name sounds familiar.
Angel Hernandez, the ump that blows just about every important call.
Oh, I think of the one that blew the call in, like the World Series with the Royals and the Cardinals.
That was Angel Hernandez.
Oh, okay. Who was him?
Angel Hernandez is also the
Yeah,
one.
he's like the worst umpire ever in baseball. Like
Angel Hernandez is also the one that blew the call that would have led to back-to-back perfect games with the Tigers.
is that Galarraga?
The Galarraga.
With Galarraga.
I'm an Indians fan, but I'm like, how do you blow that call though, man? He was clearly out. I'm like, oh. But I like the way Galarraga handled it though. He like ain't had no. He's not. He's nice.
I like
would be
Tigers and Ford still gave him a truck.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, you should.
I mean, everybody knows. Listen, everybody knows he had
broken windows, courtesy of me. But I mean,
everybody knows he had a perfect game. Everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so I know he's got on the topic sheet the Bruins, but because of this,
yeah, he's not here.
I'm not going to the Bruins. I am going to go to the NHL because there's one thing I do want to talk about, and I'm talking about Connor McDavid for the Edmonton Oilers. Currently leading the league in goals, assists, and points. He is in first place by 9 goals over second place. For assists, he's ahead by 3 assists over Nikita Kucherov. And for points, the next closest guy is Leon Draisaitl, who is a solid 29 points behind him.
Holy crap.
So he's like on board like a triple crown of hockey, probably.
He's got 127 points on the season. He's got 55 goals on the season. He has 15 games to go.
Hockey season's already that far in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're in March, man.
I haven't paid attention that much this year because every time I watch Tampa, they lose. I'm like, the hell with this.
You know what? You figure he's got 15 games to go. That's 30 days, basically. So you're a month away from, mid-April.
What would you say he's on goal? I mean, like
on pace for?
Yeah, on pace for.
Hold, please.
Well, I figured this would be right off the top of the dome.
No.
I would say if he ends the season with anything less than 65 goals.
He's on pace for 67.
What's the record?
Oh, hello, Mr. Gretzky. Hang on.
I don't think it's Gretzky.
What's the record for points? I mean,
okay. Now, y'all got to stop.
I can look up the points. I got you, Zoe. I got you.
Thank you. Hang on. Goals in that's goals for career. Anyway, I'm gonna take a second and I'm gonna actually figure out what I was gonna figure out, which was how many points he's projected to finish with now.
So, I mean, is this something that's kind of rare that hasn't happened in like X amount of years or something?
I mean, it's not often you see one player just take over every category.
Right.
Dang. 215?
Yeah.
Okay, Wayne Gretzky just needs to stop.
He ain't hitting the record, but
he has the top 4.
Yeah.
It's Gretzky, Lemieux, Gretzky, Lemieux, Gretzky.
Good Lord.
The top 13 is just Mario Lemieux and Gretzky until we hit Steve Yzerman at 14. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So I redid my math. I did my math wrong. So he's on pace for 59 goals. Points, he's on pace for, I believe it's 135.
So he's not going to break any records.
No, he's not. But at the same time, he's head and shoulders above everybody else.
Well, the fact that, like you said, he's dominant.
Yes, he's playing a different game out there.
And this is what I think Edmonton,
team record good. Team one of the best teams in that tournament. I don't watch hockey all that much, so
Edmonton's been up and down.
Edmonton is usually down. They are currently. Oh, come on! I had it.
I rephrased. I don't watch hockey into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's when it's the best.
They're currently 4th in the Pacific Division. They're in the playoffs as we speak. That'd be for 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It looks like 6th seed. However, they're only 2 points ahead of the 8th seed.
Ooh.
But they're 7 points from. I don't think they're going to have to worry about falling out. They could drop as far as the 8th seed. However, they could also move up into like 3rd or 4th if they play well. But yeah, they're a solid 7 points ahead of Calgary and Nashville. Making up 7 points in 15 games. You should be okay.
It should be okay. It should be okay.
It just be an interesting team to watch, which is good because for a very, very long time, Edmonton was the least interesting team to watch. I mean, when your league starts making rules because you get too many high draft picks, you know you're bad.
Right.
All right. We got 3 minutes. What didn't we cover?
Nothing. Let's get the hell out of here.
Damn it, sir. I may not be able to start on time. I will finish on time.
Damn, I didn't know right now that Tampa Bay is 6th right now in the conference.
Where's Pittsburgh at?
7th. Right behind Tampa.
Wings shooting for that lottery pick. Although they've got too many points. They're not going to.
I mean, I know it's bad when Tampa's coach sits their 3 best players because he said they weren't giving the best effort on the ice.
That's a statement.
Dang.
Yeah, they didn't play the whole 3rd period the other night. Sat them all.
Such thing as Stanley Cup hangover. Wasn't they in back-to-back Stanley Cup? Tampa was.
They were in 3. They were going for a 3-peat.
There is definitely a Stanley Cup hangover in the NHL, mainly because if you're winning the Stanley Cup, you've been in the playoffs for a solid month and a half. You know, so you win the cup instead of having 3.5, 4 months off, you're only getting like 2 months. And
if
so
also
and then
not
you're
mistaken,
right
too.
back into it.
Yeah.
Don't they do like the World Cup in between the season or something like that? I think like some of the hockey players like
the World Cup is come and gone. I don't know if it's on again, but regardless, yeah, there's always like international tournaments and that kind of thing.
Russia.
I mean, if you've won the cup, you are taking your time off because your body just needs to recover. You know,
yeah, because I mean, prime example, like you said with the hangover, Colorado was the one that won it last year, right? Because they beat Tampa.
Throw up snow cones.
And literally, they're the 8th seed.
Yeah, to throw up snow cones. I get Rob flat because I say your team logo look like a snow cone threw up. That's literally what it looked like. It's an A with a snowball in it. It looked like a snow cone threw up. Like it's like.
I'll never look at that ever the same again. Thanks.
That's your logo. Look at it. It looks like a throw up snow cone. That's your logo.
I will say it's like I'm not going to put down any other sport. I will say this: the playoff grind in hockey, the further you go, the more brutal it gets.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I believe it.
And by the time you're done, if you've actually gotten through there and you're not hurt, you were born under a lucky star. So it's like you are just taking whatever time you have, which isn't enough. And then next thing you know, it's training camp. So the season is just way
You're
too
getting
long,
hit every
and the
day,
playoffs
Yeah.
take forever.
Game.
Yes,
Ain't like
you are getting
basketball.
crushed.
You're getting hit, and then most hockey games are going into game 7. So you playing like what another like what half season, full season,
And then
probably, and
you
playoff.
get your fun triple overtime games where suddenly you've
Oh,
just
you're gonna
played
have a
2
couple of
entire
those.
games. Yeah.
You're gonna have a couple of those. But yes, I don't like. I watch hockey more like around like the playoffs. That's what I like.
I never miss a game.
There is nothing like playoff hockey. There's nothing.
No.
I want to go to a playoff hockey game.
I can't even
It's on
afford to
my
go to a
bucket
regular
list.
season game.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you see the
Plus,
nice
I need
winter
to find like a
residence
sugar
here?
mama or somebody.
Yeah. Okay. You got Zoltz. You see the residencies in. If
You
I
see
want to
the
go to a
winter
playoff
residence?
hockey game, I got to sell the jet, bro.
I'm telling you, man, that the winter
You
residence.
ain't got to sell the jet. I try
I
to work some negotiations. It's gonna be kind of hard though.
I can't afford a
I'm
playoff
black
game.
and hockey
Right.
at night night.
Well,
I don't believe what we need.
didn't you guys say like
I'll try though.
Detroit's one of the more expensive hockey towns,
Yes.
like for tickets or whatever, because
Yes,
of the new
it is.
arena.
New arena for a while there. We were cream of the crop for a
Right.
very long time.
Oh, it was Jim Joyce who blew that perfect game call.
Yes. Yeah, Jim Joyce. Yeah, I mean it's hard to get tickets just because going to a Red Wings game is it's a stature thing.
It's like it's an iconic thing in Detroit.
It really is. And having been at the new arena, it is phenomenal. It's
Is it?
gorgeous. All that being said, we're actually running over. So for me, for Adam, for Bruiser who took off, for Clint, y'all have a good night. Thanks for hanging in there, and we will see you on the next one.
Maybe.